Hi, I'm Michael William Denny of thunderwizard.com, thundershamanism.com, and asktheshaman.com. So today I'm going to start a video series about my first book in the Rune Shamanism series called Rune Shamanism. There are two other books so far. The second one is called Rune Divination, and the third one is called Advanced Rune Shamanism. But for this video series, we're just going to be focusing on the first book, which is Rune Shamanism. So what I'm going to be doing in this series is I'm going to be talking in a general way about the chapters and about, focusing on some of the more salient points in the book, so that people can get a deeper understanding of where I'm coming from and what my thought process is. By the way, if you're not familiar with any of my works, click on any of the links below, and that will take you to pages, and on those websites you will see all of the books and DVDs and other things that I have available. So anyway, moving on. Rune Shamanism. So in the first couple of chapters, the introduction, I talk about the reason for this book. The reason for this book is in the title, Rune Shamanism, the Forgotten Method of Galder. And it is my contention that the runes are not just the alphabet of the pre-Christian Germanic people. Even today among rune shamans and rune diviners and Asatru and pagans and heathens, you'll hear the definition of runes as, at some point the Germanic tribes decided to write down an alphabet to copy the Mediterraneans, and they did it in their own way and they called them runes and all that. But in this book I go into some analysis of how that can't really be the origin of runes. And I'll get into that later. So let's just start with the beginning of it. So what is Rune Shamanism? Rune Shamanism, the main focus of this book is to focus on what I believe to be an Ice Age secret method of teaching runes to young men as they're making their way up in that shamanic tribal warrior society. And obviously this is a method that was used before there was writing as we know it. So that means the runes were basically just the sounds. And it is my contention that these sounds, even though they are the building blocks of the what we would call the alphabet, which means the sounds that we use, the sounds and the syllables, they are the building blocks of language. This was seen as being something very sacred to the pre-Christian Germanic people. Anyway, so we need to talk about, what is shamanism, because the title of the book is Rune Shamanism. I go into great detail in some of the other videos and some of my books about what the word shamanism means. It's basically a made-up word, but it is the word that the average person understands when it comes to talking about what is really called animism. So let's talk about what is animism. And the reason why animism is such a great definition for what this means is it comes directly in the word animism. Animus means consciousness or personality. And the reason why this type of belief system is called animism is because it means that people or cultures who follow an animist religion have the fundamental belief that everything in the universe is composed of conscious life force energy, and that everything in the universe can be communicated with, because anything that has a personality or consciousness has the ability to communicate. And so the job of the shaman is to be able to be a window between the physical and the spiritual. So the shaman acted as an intermediary between the physical world and the spiritual world. And runes are by definition doorways into the spiritual realm, and the power flows from that doorway. So when you open up a rune through chanting it, you're actually opening up a doorway that sends in the power of that rune, and that rune is connected to a spiritual force, a spiritual building block of the universe. And so in this method, this is a very secret method that was taught in multiple cultures, by the way, on how to chant in a way that was the most powerful. And it was often taught only to special initiates. But the great thing is that the word rune has that special ability, that special method in the word itself. Rune is translated as secret, or whisper. And whisper is really what we want to focus on here. So I go into detail exactly what that method is. So, listen for more and you'll get the exact method. But we need to understand what the runes are before we can really tap into the power of them. So this has been the introduction to the book Rune Shamanism. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to go through, more of the chapters in the book. And, if you need to, you can call me directly on asktheshaman.com if you have any questions about the book. You can go ahead and get the book on Amazon. I'll put the link down here below. Or you can just go on to the websites, thunderwizard.com or thundershamanism.com. So stay tuned for the next installment in the Rune Shamanism book.